Of all the people who've researched Netaji's disappearance, none has been as tenacious as the journalist Anuj Dhar. He's authored several books on the mystery and even runs an NGO called Mission Netaji. Is there anything in the files that confirms the view that Netaji was alive and returned to India after the plane crash?
The oldest file is from 1951-52, that vintage. Now, the old, you would see that in 1951-52, Panditji is writing a note on the files, and these notes are available. He's completely against any inquiry into Subhash Bose's death, and he's saying, look, Subhash Chandra Bose is dead, we need not inquire into the whole matter. Thereafter, what we find is a pattern which we in our time call cut and paste method, that every Home Secretary and any Foreign Secretary worthy name comes on the scene, he would dare not go against Panditji's word.
Justice Mukherjee Commission took the line that Netaji did not die in the plane crash. Is that correct?
These files were seen by Justice Manoj Kumar Mukherjee.
Right.
And he has given his verdict. The evidence is very sketchy. It shows that this man probably did not die and he had escaped to Russia.
Okay. So let's assume what he said is accurate, which you believe, that even if there was a plane crash, and there seems to be not
No, there
much
was no
evidence.
plane crash out at all.
Yeah,
there was no plane crash.
So when does Gumnami Baba
Gumnami
prop
Baba
up?
then appears in India in 55-56.
All right.
Nobody knows anything about him. And all we know that Sampurnanand, who was the Chief Minister of UP, he was in contact with him. Sampurnanand and Subhash Bose's friendship goes back to 1920s.
All right, okay.
Nobody had any clue about this Baba till he died in 85.
So he was there for 30 years and nobody really noticed him.
For 30 years, a man like him, is in India, in UP, in different parts. He was in Lucknow, he was in Basti, he was in Naimisharanya, he was, hiding in all these places. Now, three postulations are very clear to me. A, that if a man of his stature is alive in India, there was no way the government would not know.
Right.
Especially given the kind of things that this IB does in India, they would find out one day or the other. They did, number one. Number two, if he's Subhash Chandra Bose, there has to be hell of a reason for him not to come out,
right,
to remain like this thing. And three, that if he's Subhash Chandra Bose, then he cannot keep quiet. Right. It's not part of his DNA.
But the big question is, why would Netaji return to India, pretend to be a Baba and live in isolation, not contact his family, not declare himself, not contact his friends?
Suresh Chandra Bose, who was Netaji's elder brother, alive at that point of time, of course his family is there, he deposed before Costa Commission on record.
Yeah.
So these records are available. My brother is alive till date.
But he never mentioned Gumnami Baba.
You have some evidence from Faizabad. Suresh Bose's handwritten notes have been found from Faizabad. The original summons issued to Suresh Bose by Costa Commission, the copy is lying in Faizabad. It's not possible. Either this man stole it or
somebody gave it.
Yeah.
What about Netaji's daughter?
Well,
she's openly skeptical about this theory.
Netaji's daughter was barely 2 years old when her father reportedly died. We have on record statements made by her mother, who of course knew everything, Emily Schenkel. Emily Schenkel passed away only in 1996.
But apparently she didn't believe that
She
Netaji
never, no, she was very intelligent. She said clearly, it is not my husband. She never died. In fact, a proposal was made to her by the government of India in October 1995, that is a few months before she passed away, that we can bring these ashes of from Rinpoche temple, bring them to India. She refused point blank.
Isn't it odd to you that the daughter would be so scoffing of this?
Mother said very clearly he did not die, and the daughter is supporting the plane crash theory after meeting India's foreign minister. So I do find a lot of things, which is hanky-panky.
Why did Netaji need to come back in hiding? That's the key question.
There was no such thing as a Gumnami Baba. This man smoked cigars and he talked in English. He used to talk about intelligence, security, whatnot. But Indira Gandhi is doing what that man is doing, so on and so forth. So he was not a Baba as we understand the term. Now, he used to be asked this question, why are you not coming out? And he would say that my coming out is not in India's national interest. People of this country would suffer if I came out. Then he would give, of course, he had given an account, what exactly happened. Well, he had a lot of problem with this manner in which this country got freedom. He had a problem with India joining Commonwealth because Subhash Chandra Bose, as we understand him, he had problem with Gandhiji, that India must never become part of Commonwealth because we have suffered so much under them. He said India was not a free country, and he would also say that the day the transfer of power documents are made public in entirety, you would know why I had to go into hiding.
The reason for believing that he was Netaji?
First of all, the handwriting expert's opinion.
Okay.
So the handwritings of this man, now it's scientifically impossible for somebody to copy somebody else's handwriting in 2 languages for 30 years. I have known people for 15, 16 odd years. There are people who, those who have claimed this man was him. I see no reason why not to believe them.
All right.
They have been telling the truth. So that's there. Now the writings which have survived him, he also talks about things. For example, he was able to recently we have a declassification, of course, of the file about the the INA treasure, what happened to the treasure. No, whatever is there in that file which has been declassified in 2016, this man is talking in 60s.
So what we've got coming up is an inquiry commission looking into Gumnami Baba and his antecedents.
Who this man was.
Who he was. And you've got how many more files still to be declassified?
See, the files, there are, as of now, there are something like 100 odd files which are going to be declassified. Available.
Do you expect anything to come out of those?
Not from these 100 files. Probably there will be one file in which there will be some scandalous mention about Subhash Bose's personal life.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know of. What I have understood after having gone deep into this case for so many years, is that there are two types of files which Government of India holds. Files whose existence they accept on record, even before courts of law. There are certain files or information which are so highly secretive they would never admit.
But tell me, if this was all there was in the files, why have successive governments been so reluctant to release them?
That answers my question. If there was nothing in those files, why would they keep it secret? Because they are holding something else.
Historians